Hello, I want to show you some of the latest designs for the pocket pads, which are designed by Hunkydory, and there's 5 different designs that are new. So the first one is the classic transport, and I'm just going to give you a quick sneak peek. So it's got, oh, beautiful designs of transport. Ready, Teddy, go. So it's got lots of different teddy bears. So they're really cute. Amazing embroidery. Now these ones, I think you actually have to look. Let me see if you can see the detail on some of these images, which have all been embroidered. Absolutely stunning. Birth flowers. So obviously at the moment it's January. Now these ones come with various different flowers. And then at the back, they've got the details. So we've got July lark spur. Let me just find the January. Which one is the January? Oh, here we are. Carnation. So it's got the little detail about the birth flower. And then this one, which I think is absolutely gorgeous. I've used some of these, so it's fallen apart a bit, but it's the fairy garden. So we've got different flowers with beautiful images of fairies. So then alongside those, they've brought out these mini nesting dies. So this is the pretty label one, and that's the dies. So you get 9 of those ones. The inverted corner rectangles, so you get 11 of those. The classic label, which again you get 11 of those ones. And then the ovals, which you get 12 of, and I've pinched a few of these because I just want to show you a quick topper. And these are designed to coordinate with the pocket pads, so they fit perfectly on those. Now the topper I'm just going to quickly do using the dies and the paper. Oh, so they're actually paper, and you get 4 of 16 designs, 4 copies of 16 designs, and they're 150 GSM, and they're A7 sheets. So they're a nice size for toppers and perfectly designed to coordinate with the dies. So this is a pyramid topper that I've done using 3 of the sheets. So I've still got 1 of these designs left. And I've also used Hunkydory have brought out some mirror card that coordinates with those. So I've used one of those as the background. So these are perfect for matte and layering, and really are stunning designs. So the first thing I've done is I've put the large one. Now the thing I really like about these, and you want to hang on to this card because it shows you the order in which they come, which is pretty self-explanatory, but it is so much quicker if you can just go, oh yeah, that's number 7. So it's worth holding on to the card. So I've used the second largest, I have used the largest one, number 1, and it fits snugly on the A6 sheet. And then I've taken number 3, which is miss 1, take the next one, so 1 3, so it looks like we're working on the odd ones. And this is going to be my base, the very bottom of my pyramid. So I'm just going to cut those out, so you can see that this really is quite snug because I haven't got much left of the paper. So that's my first one done. That's my mat for my topper. And then this is my base layer of my pyramid. So that one's going to be a complete one. Now do be careful with these because, like I said, they are paper, so they do have a tendency, if you're not careful, of creasing, and you're going to take a bit more care than I am. So that's my base one. Put that over there. So now what I want to do is take my next one, and I'm going to put this base on here, because I'm going to use it as a guide. So this is a piece that I cut the base layer out because we're going from rectangle to oval. So that's the piece that cut out my first one. So I've finished with those two, put them off to one side. So I'm then going to take a number 5 and I'm going to place it on here, leaving roughly the same distance all the way round. It doesn't have to be exact because it's not quite, it doesn't line up, if that makes sense. There is, if you look at this, there is edging around each layer. So we don't have to be exact to the millimeter. So once you're happy with that, I'm going to put one of these down and I'm going to start again. So line it up, then I'm going to hold it down with my fingers and put one of my low tack tape down, and then I'm going to lift out the original base and put that there for the minute. Now, so what happens is it goes 5, 7, 9 and 11. So this is 5, this is 7, but you don't want to cut 7 out of the same sheet because you won't have very much area to then glue them down into place. So you leave 7 and you go to the next one down. So this one is 5, and what you will end up with is a hole in the middle of this first layer and then a solid layer for that one. So then you can just, once you're happy with where you're placing it, you can just put your low tack tape down, and there we go. So instead of using this one, we've missed it because that's going to be used with the one that will be in the middle. Because otherwise, if we'd have used this one, can you see how much we wouldn't have had much area here to have attached the next layer on? So we're doing alternate layers basically. So I'm going to run that through the machine. And you want to do these one at a time because you can use the previous one to line up for the next layer, which is why I'm doing them one at a time. Okay, so this is the next layer cut out, and I'm keeping this base layer for the outside edge for the moment because I can use that to line up for the next one. And as you can see here, we've got a piece with a hole in it and we've got the piece that came out of the middle. So that's layer, so that's base layer. We've got base layer, next layer. Then this one is going to be the 4th layer, not the 3rd. So I'll show you how that all works in a moment. And each time I'm using my dies, I'm moving them out of the way so I know I've used them. So this time we're going to layer the piece we've just cut out on top. And that's the piece we used. So I need this one. So we can, once we're happy with where we've positioned it, we can then take this bit out, and then we want the very tiny bit from the middle. So just going to lay that in. I'm just going to tape this one down for a minute because then it won't move when I'm moving this one around. It's just a precaution. So there we go, that looks about right. Like I say, it's not an exact science because it's all going to line up when you layer it. So as close as possible. And if there are any layer police around, they shouldn't be. Okay, so I'm going to just run that through again on its own. So here's my last 2 pieces. So basically now we've used the bases so we can lose those. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers, and you can now see why we didn't cut this third layer out of the same sheet as the second layer, because by not cutting it out, we've got a little bit of overlap, which is where we can attach the piece to the previous piece. Now, one of the things I would suggest is using silicone glue as opposed to foam pads, because it's paper. I found that you run the risk of, when you're trying to take the covering off the paper, the foam pads, it does tend to buckle it slightly. So I would find using the silicone glue a lot easier, because you're not having to manhandle these pieces quite so much. The other thing with the silicone glue is that you can nudge the pieces into place, whereas foam pads you can't. So once you've got all your pieces, it's just a question of layering them all up. So you've got your base, your base mat, the next layer over the top, next layer, and the final layer. And you can see why they call it a pyramid, because it gives you a pyramid effect. Hopefully that's given you some idea of how you can use the pocket pads and the mini dies together to create stunning handmade toppers for your greetings cards. Have fun creating. Thanks for watching.